Hi guys, happy Sunday. If you were a part of the group, as most of us probably were, that had to get really honest with some things that you have been hiding from yourself like the last 2 to 3 days. If you were really exhausted, if you were having a hard time getting motivated, it was normal and natural. I'm sorry that I wasn't here to guide you through that. We had a really big winter storm come through on Friday. And then a slight illness scare yesterday on my part. Everything's fine. I'm okay. We were just worried that it wasn't going to be fine. So I went to the doctor yesterday, went to urgent care. Everything's fine. But like the last couple of days were kind of hard, and we needed that time. We needed that purge, and we needed that pause in time to reflect on what January's taught us so far, because all of these energies really are pushing you forward. And it doesn't feel like it right now. That's the catch, right? It doesn't feel like you're being pushed forward right now, because it's almost as if you're being put into lessons that you feel like you learned years ago, but you're like having to relearn them, or you're being put into brand new lessons that are totally breaking you down. A couple of people have even said to me, I feel like my spirit is broken right now. Like, I feel like there's nothing good nothing positive that I can look forward to, nothing I can, boost myself up. Well, let me give you a little bit of good news. First of all, this is temporary. This is needed and temporary. We all have to go through a purge. And I said it in the last daily reading, we're mammals, and mammals hibernate in the winter. And I know in Australia it's not winter right now, or like in Guam, like at the other side of the world, it's not winter right now. And in Hawaii, obviously, it's gorgeous too. But for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere that are dealing with winter right now, and it's cold and everything is dead outside, just remember that your body, this is a time that this happens. We have to go through this. We have to die so that we can be reborn. And I think it's very telling that it happened in the wintertime, that the Saturn and Pluto conjunction happened in the wintertime, because we all needed this transformation process. We all needed to be pushed to our limits.
Sorry, I'm having trouble.
Every time. And she scares me. Like when she pops up, everything's on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, Siri scares me when she pops up. You see me jump every time. This later on this week, we have a new moon in Aquarius. Mercury is in Aquarius. The sun moves into Aquarius tomorrow. If you are an Aquarian, your birthday special is available. Make sure you are ordering your birthday special like a week or two before your birthday. If you want the reading done close to your birthday or on your birthday, make sure you're ordering it a week or two before your birthday. Jesselyn, my assistant Jesselyn, and I are doing our best to accommodate everybody when it comes to having their birthday reading done on their birthday or around their birthday. $50 for only 30 minutes, $100 for an hour, but with the hour reading, you're also going to get a brief look at your chart and what you can probably expect from the energies this week. It's not a whole solar return reading, but because I also do tarot, and I can't do an entire solar return reading and tarot in an hour's time. So, sorry, my eyes are really watery today, you guys. I'm like trying not to just melt all over my face right now, my eyes. I'm not crying. I'm just really it's watery. I'm like purging through my eyes. So yeah, if you are an Aquarius, your birthday special, Capricorn, your birthday special is still available as well. And we are looking at charts in your 1 hour reading too. So if you're a Capricorn, I know the season is up tomorrow, but you still have 10 days to get your reading if you would still like to get a reading for your birthday. 11 days actually. The special will be done on January 31st for Capricorns. Okay. Moon is in Scorpio today. It's also void in Scorpio. Get some rest. I know that I've been saying like since the very beginning of the year, and even before the beginning of the year started, to get as much rest as possible. But the reason why I'm saying that is for the fact that we're supposed to be hibernating right now. And for some reason, us humans are just the opposite of wanting to hibernate. And we, during hibernation season, we have Christmas, right? And we're like pushing ourselves and pushing ourselves. And then we have the new year, and then we push ourselves to have to like go back to the gym and have all of these New Year's resolutions and push, 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 push. And I guarantee you, if you're one of the people that have been pushing yourself and pushing yourself and pushing yourself since Thanksgiving or before Christmas, you are either sick right now. Thank you very. I'm talking to myself too while I'm lecturing you guys. I mean, obviously, right? And I know. See, this is my lesson this year, because I'm already planning for this time next year. Because all of the lessons that I'm learning is at this time every year, I get ill, very, very ill. And if I don't give myself a good 2 weeks to recover, it'll come back, and then it'll come back with a vengeance, and it'll come back with a vengeance again. And during this season, it was better than last year. See, and this is the progress that you can, this is what I did and reflected in January. I looked at my last year and I said, all right, Betsy, where do you need to improve yourself? Where do you need to stop sleeping on yourself? Because the reason why I was doing this assessment, and why I want you guys to do the assessment as well, is because we have a new moon in Aquarius on Friday going into, depending on where you are in the world, it's Friday night, Saturday. And I am going to actually have a new moon ritual that night. I don't have it up on my website yet, but as soon as it's available, I will let you guys know. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see it on the community tab. But I'll put it up all over social media, on Twitter, Instagram, on the community tab. I'll tell you tomorrow morning or whenever I have it available. But it'll be $5 to register for the new moon in Aquarius. And it's the first new moon of the year. So we want to anchor what our year is going to look like. We want to start manifesting from that place. That doesn't mean you start right out the gate like you're, a bat out of hell, right? That's not what that means. This means we just start planning. We just start manifesting. Now, tonight, I keep forgetting that it's Sunday, for Pete's sake. I keep thinking it's Saturday. Like all my days are mixed up. Tonight, we do have a meditation. If you are not already registered for this meditation, if you got the pre-order of the workshop, the January workshop, you are already registered for this meditation, and you will be receiving a link later on this afternoon. This evening, it'll be before the meditation for sure, a couple hours before the meditation. So if you're already registered or you're a Patreon member, you will be receiving the link today. If you are not registered for tonight's meditation, I'm going to highly recommend it for you, because we are going to work on that feeling of joy and manifesting. All of the meditations in January, all of the meditations in January are about living in the present moment and manifesting from that moment, manifesting from the present, right? It's called mindful manifesting. And the last 2 meditations we did some releasing and some purging and allowing ourselves to just just shake it all off and get it all out. Tonight's meditation will be about feeling the joy again, and feeling that, getting in the present moment and feeling the joy of the present moment without the chaos of what the world is trying to tell you. Because your environment may not feel very calm or safe or peaceful, but you can create that within yourself and then manifest from that place. So we're going to be finding out where that power is within us tonight and releasing it. I wish I could have told you guys about this a couple of days ago to prepare you for tonight if you're missing it. But there were things, right? Life happens and it gets in the way. We had a big winter storm. Sicknesses happen. So I'm telling you now, now, hopefully you're able to attend. If you're not able to attend, consider coming to the new moon, the Aquarius new moon on Friday night. That will be available probably tomorrow morning. I'll make another announcement, but just so you kind of are holding on to that. Okay, let's get to the cards, you guys. I am using a new card deck. Where's the box? Hold on one second. I'm going to go find the box really quick. I'll be right back. I also wanted to tell you guys that I do have openings for some astrology readings as well. I spaced them out so that I wouldn't overwhelm myself, and then I'm realizing I'm actually getting them done quicker than I thought. So I do have some openings if you've been wanting, if you want to get a full astrology reading. If you don't want to get the whole shebang where we do the transits for the year and stuff, or like what you might expect for this coming year, you can get, I have mini readings, which are just your personal planets and a few of the natal transits or natal aspects that you have in your birth chart that make you who you are. And then I have the micro where there isn't a video and you just get the report. Okay, so consider doing that if you want to do it. I do have some openings for that. Then we have, these are the cards that I'm using. Jesslyn actually turned me onto it. My assistant turned me onto these cards. I got them on Amazon. I don't have an Amazon page. Everybody asks me about all my cards. I need to put together an Amazon page so you guys know what cards I use, because I get most of my cards, if I don't get them in a bookstore, in like a metaphysical bookshop, I get them on Amazon. So it's called the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. This is the first time that I've actually used them. I mean, I used them for a reading for a friend of mine, just because that's what you are, to like kind of put your own energy into it. You're supposed to do a reading for somebody. So I did that, but this is the first time I've actually used it for the public. And again, my hands are really, really tiny, and the deck is pretty thick. So it looks funny when I shuffle these, because I can't grab the entire deck. Like, for example, look at the difference, okay? You guys get all of me. It's so funny how I can show you. So you can see the thickness, the difference of the thickness of the decks, right? I don't know if you can tell. The little counters at the bottom, so I can't see. So there's a thickness. You can't really tell. But anyways, but where I can hold all of these, the entire deck, I can't do that with this deck. So bear with me. So let's see what we can gather from today. Let's see what's going on. Whoa, all right. So some of you are feeling a little bit ignored by a fire sign. It could be that the fire sign feels ignored by you. But here's the thing, is like, I feel like you're focusing on the fact that you're being ignored, or I feel like that person is focusing too much on the fact that they're being ignored. And yeah, because it's like, some of you are really, really patiently waiting for someone to show up in your life. So we have the Four of Cups and the King of Wands. And I have the Seven. Look how beautiful these cards are. Let me show this to you again. The Four of Cups. You see that rainbow that's coming down into the cup that she's not paying attention to? Look how beautifully that's illustrated. This is literally showing you that if you're just going to focus on what you have in front of you and you're not going to see the beauty of what Source is trying to give you through this rainbow over here, it's like the more you wait on this King of Wands, we're just going to say that you're the one that's waiting on the King of Wands to show up in your life, okay? So we don't get the whole message convoluted. If it is the other way around, where a King of Wands is waiting for you to show up, just switch it around to that way, okay? So we have the King of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Look at the Seven of Pentacles, waiting. And it's so funny, because it's almost as if you know that if you sit here and wait long enough, then the person will show back up in your life, right? Or that's the feeling that you have. You're like, it's almost as if, okay, so where I'm being placed, where Spirit is placing me right now, is when I was waiting for like a twin flame to show up, or you know what I mean? Or like waiting for that relationship that I thought like we had that connection, and that's, you know, where my focus was, and that's what I was waiting on because I just knew it was going to happen. It feels like you think that, oh, this is the Seven of Wands. Sorry, it's not the Seven of Pentacles. It's the Seven of Wands. So there's, but it's still, it feels like the longer you sit in this, waiting for somebody to show up for you, the more you are missing out on all of the other opportunities. So there's a sense of needing to protect yourself. You know what I mean? And part of it is choosing you and choosing what to focus on instead of like the healthy boundaries you have to create for yourself. That's choosing you. The Seven of Wands talks about healthy boundaries. The Seven of Wands talks about no longer allowing other, I mean, this woman in this picture, she loves herself so much that she's never going to let anybody hurt her again. And maybe that's the lesson that you've learned. Maybe you've been waiting for this King of Wands to show up in your life, and now you're realizing, oh, wow, I have to have these boundaries up because whoever shows up in my life next, they're not going to have the opportunity and the chance to hurt me. Like, that's not going to happen. And you have to be honest with yourself about that. That's not something that you can take lightly. That's not something that you can, you can't take your boundaries lightly. You know, and if you're going to have boundaries for one person, you need to have the same boundaries for everybody. Can you imagine having different boundaries for every single different person in your life and for like not being able to remember them? You know what I mean? Like, it's like I have boundaries for this person and then I have different boundaries for this person, but it's almost like dating different people and like trying to remember like their favorite foods or favorite colors, and you get them all mixed up, right? You can't have boundaries for different people because it's like telling a white lie and then building on the white lie and building and building and building, and then pretty soon you've forgotten it's not even a white lie anymore. It's a full-blown lying game, right? So, and that's the emotional attachments that we have to release. And I think during this time, a lot of us are really having to pay attention to those little like those little things that we tell ourselves. Well, you know, I mean, I'll place my boundary up for this, for, you know, for this thing, but I guess I could be a little bit lenient. I have the Five of Swords down here. So it's literally lying to yourself when you do that. I mean, I guess I could have boundaries for this person, but not so much this person. No, that is a game that we are leaving in 2019. We're not even going to like, no. Eight of Cups. And allowing yourself to walk away from the emotional attachment to the situation or the person. This is huge. And this is that thing that we talked about in the Mindful Manifesting workshop, that the replay is still available, you guys. If you were not able to be a part of the workshop on January 5th and you're having a hard time releasing an energy or releasing people from your life, that Mindful Manifesting workshop, it will help tremendously. It will help. And then I have the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. And here's the thing, you guys, trying to, like, if you're going to sit here and vacillate on what's going to be best for you, or what it is that you need in your life, or all of the things, and telling yourself one thing but doing something else with the Five of Swords. I mean, look how broken that dude looks in that picture. Allowing yourself the freedom of walking away from, because this, your mind right now is creating those emotions that are built up from it. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that somebody isn't showing up in your life and you haven't created boundaries with not just this person, but like it's almost as if this person represents everybody for you, but this is the person you have to have the most boundaries with. But it's representative of all energies and all boundaries that you need to create in your life. Let's see what the Four of Cups is. And this doesn't have to be like love related. This could be in work. This could be in friendships. This could be anywhere. Come on, cards. Deep breaths. There we go. And it landed right on there. And here's the thing, you guys, is the patience required when you are waiting for that gift to show up. And it's, I mean, like, in this Four of Cups, she even has her hand on this cup. Like, she knows it exists. She knows it's there. And she's waiting for that abundance to show up in her life. But she's so focused on all the stuff that she already has, it creates that tension. It creates that stagnancy that you've been feeling. And Temperance here, again, with the, no, so weird. Temperance here is saying, you know, balance out your heart and your mind. It's okay to do that. It's okay to create a healthy balance between your heart and your mind and then come back to it later. And the other thing that I get from people all the time is they'll come to me, they'll be like, I'm waiting for this person to show up in my life. Or you're just waiting for someone. You have like a particular idea. This doesn't, maybe this isn't, this is just coming to me. Maybe this, you don't even know who this person is yet. It's so funny when I look at this. I know she's not in a crystal ball, but it looks like she is. I feel like she's trying to, like every time I look down at the card, that Seven of Wands, I feel like she's looking into the future or something. Ooh, Queen of Wands. So you want somebody that matches you. The Queen of Wands came out on the King of Wands. You want somebody that matches your energy. And people say to me all the time, but Betsy, I've been patient. I've been waiting for a long time, and I've been very, very patient. You know, it actually says in my birth chart that I'm not supposed to meet my divine partner until later on in life. Like the person that I'm supposed to be with for that I'm the most compatible with. And it shows in my, like, the thing, these are the things that I'm learning, that I've learned, and still, I mean, every day I learn something new when it comes to astrology. But, so like in your birth chart, it tells you what your first, second, and third marriages will look like, or like what houses to look like to see where it's going to be. And I was doing that because I've been married and divorced twice. So I was doing that. And so I was looking at my third, and I was like, that makes so much sense, because most of the activity of where my third marriage would be, most of the activity in my chart is in that house. It's ridiculous how it's so lined up. And it has, you know, the characteristics and idea of like what my husband is supposed to, like all of it, right? So, and that's what you're doing, is you're creating this idea, and you've been so patient for it. And maybe it's a Sagittarius energy that you're waiting on. And again, I say that loosely. I say waiting on a person very loosely, because I don't want you to sit and wait for them, right? But in the meantime, you're creating these healthy boundaries, and you're walking away from all of the emotional attachments that you had previously. So let's see what the Seven of Wands is. Yeah, Seven of Swords. And this is the thing, is when you're, you know, if you don't know what kind of healthy boundaries you need to create in your life, get in meditation. Get in meditation. Start asking your higher self, what are the boundaries that will be best for me? Get in meditation and start remembering those traumatic times in your life where you wish you would have had boundaries, where you wish you could have said no, where you wish you would have asserted yourself a little bit more, where you wish you would have said, you know, this is what I expect in this relationship, and I expect no less than that. And if you can't uphold that, then we don't need to be together. Or whatever, at work, if you wish you would have said, you know, these are my boundaries when it comes to ... You can have boundaries at work. If your office does not allow you to have healthy, loving boundaries in your workspace, it is a negative and toxic environment, and you must remove yourself from it as soon as possible. I am not even going to halfway joke with that or even apologize that I said it, because it's true. We allow ourselves to stay in toxic environments and then complain that we're miserable all the time. The time of complaining about how miserable you are in your life and not doing anything to change it has come and gone. We're no longer complaining about where we are. We're going to say, I know I exist in this space and I know how to overcome it. And I know what direction I need to go in. And if you don't know, you're going to find out, right? 8 of Cups is, and this is where that non-attachment comes into play. And not being attached to outcomes and not having expectations about people and not being attached to certain things in your life or certain circumstances in your life, allowing yourself to detach from that. And it's not that you don't care. There's a difference between non-attachment and not caring. Okay? You can detach yourself emotionally from situations and still care about it or still care about other things. Justice and the 5 of Wands. So we have 2 7s and now we have 2 5s. So the conflict that we're feeling inside is very, very clear. And the more you vacillate and sit and you're like, why is my life this way? Why can't I just be happy? Why am I always struggling to make money? Why am I always struggling to do this? Why? And the reason why you can't find the answers is because it's just so damn loud all the time. Like, fuck the loudness. Who wants that? Then we have Justice with the 5 of Wands on the 8 of Cups. You know how to silence that loudness? Create the balance that you need. Do you know how to create the balance that you need? You become mindful. You become present. You start from this space. I put something up on Twitter this morning that said there's nothing in your past that can stop you from starting from your present moment. There's nothing from your past that can stop you from being present. And there's nothing that from your past that you can't start being present right now. Nothing is stopping you. But you. 2 of Pentacles. I have decisions to make, Betsy. How do I have decisions to make? How do I make my decisions if my mind is quiet? If I'm not using my mind to make my decisions, then what am I using to make my decisions? Your gut. We have another 7. The confusion is in the chaos. The 7 of Cups on the 2 of Pentacles. If there's so much in your life that you have to decide on right now or make decisions about, if there's so much that you cannot quiet your mind, then, and here's the thing is, you have to start, these are the boundaries that you create with yourself. You have to start saying, what's the most important? And if nothing is really the most important and it's all has the same kind of importance, I literally, this is what I do, guys, to get started on something, and I have so many options, there are so many things I need to start on. I'll write every single thing down on a piece of paper, close my eyes, and go like this. Because if nothing is that much of importance that it has to start first, you just start somewhere. Because if you don't, and again, I'm going to say this, Virgos are the biggest procrastinators. If we don't want to do something, we're not going to fucking do it. Excuse my language, but it's true. If we don't want to do something, we're not going to do it. So when I say this to you, this is how I get out of my procrastination. If I have a whole list of things that I don't want to do or a whole list of stuff that I have to pay attention to, and I don't want to do any of it, I go like this. And I pick it and I just do it. Stop sleeping on yourself. Stop saying, but I have so much to do, I'm so confused. If it's a person that's confusing, all of this stuff, the confusion and the loudness in your mind and the sleeping on yourself and the not being honest with yourself and the taking away from yourself, the Seven of Swords on the Seven of Wands, the not allowing yourself to see things clearly, it's all you. You're creating that space within yourself. Nobody's doing it to you. So how do you stop doing it? You just choose. You see? And you stop lying to yourself that you can't. Five of Swords, right? But I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start. I don't know what to do. Da 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 da. We have the Death card. Death and rebirth on the Five of Swords. I mean, you really can't get a better reading. After the kind of energy we just had, this is an amazing reading to get. Because things are changing so rapidly that it could get very overwhelming to you, and it can make you paralyze yourself and be like, I don't know what to do next. There is somebody out there that you're manifesting that has the same energy as you. But there are some things that you have to release first in order for this manifestation to take place. If you want to start manifesting a new relationship, you've got to get on board with boundaries for yourself and for others. And stop saying that you have boundaries and they don't work. But I put boundaries up, Betsy. They're not working. People are still showing up in my space. The boundaries that you create, you also have to create within yourself. If you create boundaries with people out of bitterness and anger and hatred and like just anger, basically, if you create those boundaries, they're not going to work because you're still going to attract that energy. When you create boundaries, you do it out of love. You don't do it because you feel slighted. You don't do it because you feel like you have been betrayed over and over and over again. That's not why you create boundaries. You create boundaries because you love yourself so much that you refuse to be slighted again. And you say to everybody, during this boundary creation, you tell everybody, these are the things that I refuse to accept in my life. And if you cannot handle that, you don't have to be a part of it. There's the door. Right? And that is creating peace out of chaos. When you finally walk away from those unhealthy, toxic patterns, and it doesn't even have to be like an actual situation that's going on. These could be feelings that you've been holding on to. This could be an idea that maybe somebody was in your life that cursed you at one point. This could be an idea that somebody was in your life that, like if you're still holding out hope for someone else to show up in your life, you're creating that tension within yourself. Because that person is gone physically. You're the one, because people will say, why do I keep thinking about this person? Why do I keep this? Why is this so miserable? Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I have loved many people in my life. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't think about a past relationship or a past boyfriend or a past love that I've had. Some of them I was more connected with than others. And every time that happens, I think, wow, they were such a part of my healing journey. And I thank them. I thank their energy for still being a part of me and still allowing me to walk. And if there's something I have to learn from that memory or that traumatic event that comes up, I thank it and I bless it and I cry it out and I allow myself to feel it and then I walk away. And it doesn't matter how many times it happens in my life. Because setting the boundary is one thing, upholding it is something that's totally different. If you want more information on how to mindfully manifest and set boundaries in your life, the workshops, either one of them, I would suggest watching the January one first and then the November one second, but either one of them is going to help you live your best life and teach you how to do that. Even in moments that are hard. I did that January workshop. I literally had to remaster everything that I taught. Like a week before I taught it, I had to remaster everything. And I'm grateful for it. Like, it wasn't easy, but I was so glad that I did it. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I am going to get get going on those January and February readings. Everybody's asking me about the January readings. You know what? You're gonna get your damn readings, okay? Have I ever not given you a reading in a month's time? So stop asking. So I'm not even mad at it. It's comical. It's comical at this point. Like, if y'all have been following me, if you know that I give readings every month, like how, I mean, obviously I'm going to do it. So I love you guys. Take really good care of yourselves. Get some rest today. We're going to have a lot of energy, like push forward energy later on this week. So make sure you're getting all of the rest that you can while you still can do it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.